What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Animation Movement. This is going to be about the jump this time, so I'm going to show you. There's quite a few steps here, so bear with me. But uh, as you remember from the last video, we had some things right here to go between idle, walk, and run. Now we have a state machine here, so when you right-click, you look up state machine, and you're gonna do this state machine right here. Not the state weight, but the state machine. There's not going to be anything in there, but then you're going to copy it and you're going to put it in here, and it's going to bring you, and you're going to rename it from state machine to locomotion, which that's what this is. All right, so I moved this, and then it starts out with just an entry thing. I'm going to show you how I got all this here in just a moment. Let's see. Okay, so now all these things in here, as you can see, they have different rules and stuff. But you start off by, okay, what do you want your character to do? Okay, you want your character to idle. Cool. And then it starts out just like this, right? Just like all these things. There's 4 of them, right? Okay, you pick what you want your character to do. Delete. All right, so instead of idle, walk, run, because obviously that's what that state does. And I'll click on that in a minute to show you inside each one what they do. But then you're going to go up here to, or down here to jump start, jump loop, and jump in and drag them in. And then you're going to create a loop because you want your jump um, to work. And so how you get it to work is you have to get it in a loop. So in that way that your character does those things. So you draw a line from your entry to your idle walk, but on your machine, if that's all you have in there, it's not going to do anything different than when we had it over here with this right here. Because since now we have a state machine, it will depend on what you do, will depend on what your character does. Give me a second while I compile this. Okay, so coming back over here, you draw a line now from idle walk to jump start. This will bring up this thing right here. So jump start, as you can see, is just right in there, and that's your animation, right? Okay, so cool. So you got that, but then the problem is, okay, let's go back to locomotion real quick. Even whenever you have it come down here, your character just won't start. So now you gotta, that's what this thing is a rule. So you can get your character, whenever your animation goes from this to now jumping. So to give an example, I gotta go in here. As you can see, it says is in the air because obviously, if you don't have that, then your character won't do anything. So if I have this Boolean, you see I can get my character to go in the air. But when you click on it, you only have this right here. But I had to create a variable called is in the air, which is this right here. And then I had to connect it. So now when I have it in the default, is in the air. Yay, he's in the air. Okay. So that was that one. Now to do the jump loop, you can't do the same thing as the jump start because otherwise it'll completely jump over jump start and just go straight to jump loop in this loop. So what do you do from here then? Okay, again, same thing, the jump loop. But if you click on this, there is a way to make it where your character loops. I can't seem to find it at the moment. Um, but there is something that you can do here in the jump loop, that'll be in your detail. It probably is in the details. Let me look. Yep, there it is. Loop animation. Okay, hold on. Let me just move all these together. There you go. Okay, so you go to the details panel, right? Okay, there's a loop animation. So you want to make sure you click that because otherwise your character will just stay in the jump start position, which you don't want to be just standing in a jump start position. Like when you come back down on the ground, you want your character to come back down to the ground. But while your character is in the air, you want to play the loop animation because otherwise it looks funky if they just stay in the jump start position. So want to make sure this is true, so that way your character goes in the jumping loop. Okay. So then the next thing is after jump loop, you're gonna go to jump in. Come on. Okay, so again, you're only gonna start with this. This is a comment I put in here. When it is in the air, becomes false because obviously, if you're going back down to the ground, you're in the air. But when you're not in the air, then you're going to be back on the ground, right? So that's why that's important. Okay, let me move this down here. I can't really do much with that right now. So, okay. So that's how that one works. And then your jump to the end, uh, your details again will have there'll be a blend, that you want to fix there. And then, okay, your automatic rule, based on sequence player state, you don't just want it to say at jump end, you want it to go back where you can start walking around again and whatnot. So the automatic rule based on sequence state tells the engine, okay, hey, I'm done jumping. Let's go back to this now. Okay, so when I hit this is in the air, um, jump preview, you'll see it go around the block. And you saw it went to jump start, and then when I turned it back off, you saw it do jump in back to the idle state. So you know it works. All right, but the next thing that I want to show you is, so this is your state machine as I showed you from here that you want to link up to your pose. And then I had to change something on the event graph in order for it to pick up that. So to check to see if your character is in the air, which is why we made this variable is in the air, after getting your speed and stuff, you wanted to get your character, so you had to make a character reference, drag your character in here, and then from here, you had to look up is falling, because obviously if your character is falling, then you need to know that, right? And so that's how it brought this up, because that's your character movement from your character, connected here on this side, and then on the output, it connects to your Boolean that you set, instead of get, that you are in the air. All right, so that shows you all that there. And that's really the only changes that were made to be able to make a jump. But again, make sure your state machine is hooked up here, and then that would do this here. That's what this is, inside the state machine. And you can click on each individual rule to change it, as you can see. Motion. And then this part for, all right, so on the loop, because I didn't really show you, I don't think. Okay, so when you do the jump start, when your animation is almost done playing, you want to get relevant animation time because it'll show you, okay, while I'm in the air, then it's going to play this, right? And when it's less than zero point 0.1, then it's going to go to the end result, right? So, but animation is almost done playing, and then it goes down here to OR, so in that way it can give you the transition. And then the other one is if your character is just falling off a ledge, character not actively jumping because I'm not jumping, then again you're going to get your character reference down here. And then if your character is not jumping, so you look up is jumping, but you're not, so you're going to plug that into your OR, so that way it can go this one or this one, and then it'll bring your end result for that. And then same thing for your jump loop here at the end. Character is not in the air, and it's done. And then this one is just based on, again, your detail. Automatic rule, so that way it goes back to the idle walk. All right, let's go to the main level, check it out real quick. Okay, shift, run, jump. Woo! Okay, and see that when he's in the air, so like if you were just on the start, then your guy would just like be like that. He wouldn't be floating in the air. He'd just be in the same position the whole time. But stop there. So like give an example. Let's see here. If I was to break some of these rules, say I broke this connection. Say I broke this connection. It's obviously going to give me some errors, right? I just wanted to show you because I only have start equipped now. So if I jump, then this is what it's going to look like. My guy just floating around, and that is not what you want at all. He doesn't even go back to his idle walk state because why? Because, well, he's stuck in the jump start. But that's why we have the jump loop, which is this part. And that fixes one part, but then it doesn't go to the jump end. So you guys going to be in the jump loop. No? See? He's still trying to do his jumping, but he's done. So, it should go back to the end and then back to the idle walk. But because that's not fixed at the moment, not jumping anymore. And then again, as I was showing you too, the bring it back to idle walk from this, all it is just you come here and then automatic rule based on sequence player of state, because obviously when his jump ends, you want him to go back to idle walk run. So all you got to do is hit that in your details panel, and it will go back here again. But want to make sure that your stuff on jump end is done, so that way your character will continue to go back and land and continue running and walking or whatever. Yep. And then the other part is to say if I walk off a ledge, which is the part here that I was showing you. It is falling. Let's see here. Oh, where was it? Oh, it was in the jump loop, this part. Okay, so this part, animation almost done playing, applies to the jumping sequence, right? The regular jumping sequence. The second part goes with if you're falling off a ledge, or right? If I'm not actively jumping, but say I just walk off a ledge, my character is not jumping, and then it plays the loop, right? The character falling still. So to show you what I mean, say I'll walk off this ledge, right? Then I'm still playing the loop animation, right? Because obviously it fell off a ledge. Okay, so that's about the limit of it here that I wanted to show you. And then this part as well, uh, you want to show that your character is jumping, and this all is if your button is pressed, your character is jumping, and when it's released, you're not jumping, right? So that's on your character though, instead of on this. And that's why you use a character reference in this part, because your character is using the is jumping, and that's how this right here, and then not Boolean, right? So, all right, well, that'll be it for this one, but quite a bit there. Hope y'all enjoyed.